Have you noticed how Taylor Swift is literally everywhere right now?
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
Whether you're a crazy fan or someone who really doesn't get the hype,
Hell no! You gotta get off. One second.
Taylor's out here literally causing earthquakes,
It actually caused the equivalent of a 2.3 magnitude earthquake.
giving post-concert amnesia to her fans,
Taylor Swift is giving her fan base mass amnesia and long-term memory loss.
and recently dominating not just her concerts, but filling up entire football stadiums just for her presence in her New Guys match. Why is the world so crazy about this girl?
She comes off as like a little pretentious or entitled.
Why is Taylor Swift the absolute worst?
Is Taylor Swift grossly overrated?
Under no circumstances should you be paying $95,000 to sit and watch a middle-aged woman complain about heartbreak. I don't understand.
Or is there something about her that the haters just fail to see?
And I had this thing where I wanted to criticize her publicly because I thought that was the cool thing to do.
Once and for all, let us investigate the truth behind the Taylor Swift phenomenon. And sit tight, because these 10 reasons why she's taking over the world might not be what you expect. Like, number 1, her success feels like revenge. Most of us remember when Kanye West rudely interrupted Taylor while she was accepting her award.
Happy for you, I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Most of us remember when the entire world hated Taylor, calling her fake, calculated and manipulative over an out-of-context call that Kim K leaked.
Impossible. Taylor Swift is actually the crazy manipulative
And most of us remember when Scooter Braun sold record masters for her very first albums, stopping her from owning her own song. Well, Taylor's massive rise after being portrayed as the villain was the sweetest revenge on all those who doubted her. She took all the hate, embraced being the villain, and turned it into her album Reputation.
What you made me do.
And in an attempt to take back her power, she bravely re-recorded all her stolen albums to make sure her previous record label won't take what's rightly hers.
I was the one who made this music first. I can just make it again.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Number 2, Taylor Swift is an American symbol. Blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, red lips. Taylor is your typical American sweetheart. The type that American moms would want their kids to listen to. Because no matter how big she gets, she somehow never loses her innocence. And to be honest, speaking from a musician's perspective, it's indeed worth respect. Because in a world where many pop stars feel the need to hypersexualize themselves just to stay relevant, Taylor managed to rise just by focusing on her talent. Number 3, Taylor Swift is a shapeshifter. Haters call her a snake, but in a good sense, she is. Because notice how fast she sheds her skin and becomes a new version of herself in every era. Taylor herself will admit this is calculated too. From being a country music sweetheart, to a red-lipped NYC chick, to retro-loving pop icon, to a gothic angsty villain, then suddenly rainbow-loving women in love, and for the Gen Zs, switching to TikTok trending cottagecore. Taylor Swift is ready to be anything and try any genre for you within just months. In her words, she is a mirror ball, a musical chameleon, and this is quite genius because if everyone sees a version of themselves in any of her transformations, then she already had 10 different chances of having to relate to her. And speaking of relatable, number 4, her songs are almost too personal. No one knows a girl's heart like Taylor Swift. Millennials pretty much grew up with her, exploring universal feelings feelings of love, jealousy, insecurity, angst, anxiety, coming of age, and overcoming breakups.
All those emotions spanning from intense love, intense frustration, jealousy, confusion, all of that. In my mind, all of those emotions are red.
For better or for worse, the media is also extra obsessed and critical of Taylor's dating life, way more than they are with any other male artists. And so,
If a guy shares his experience in writing, he's brave. If a woman shares her experience in writing, she's oversharing.
You're going to date just like a normal 20-something should be allowed to, but you're going to be a national lightning rod for shaming.
And so aside from her songs being just relatable, they even become national pastimes for solving mysteries about who they are written for. Number 5. She is a gifted storyteller. If all you ever heard from her was the blank space or Shake It Off and you think that she can only write about breakups, you are in no place to criticize Taylor Swift's lyrical ability.
I'll stare directly at the sun but never in the mirror.
I'll get older, but you'll always stay my age.
Love or hate her, you cannot deny that Taylor is critically acclaimed for her gift of storytelling.
I love watching people's reactions if it comes across. Like if they get those lines, I'm like, yes, knew it.
I wanted to make sure that these songs sounded exactly the way that the emotions felt.
In fact, she's so skillful at creating visual imagery with her words that one British scholar dubbed Swift a real poet, even comparing her to Shakespeare and Hemingway.
Down the stairs, you were there, you remember it all.
Rolling Stone called Midnight's an instant classic in their 5-star review. Rolling Stone.
Taylor is indeed very connected to her craft. She directs her own music videos.
4, 3, 2, 1. That was literally perfect. Cut. We have what we need.
This is going to be very hard to figure out how to do, but can you mouth happy birthday?
That is how an entire world was born, called Number 6, the Taylor Cinematic Universe. Okay, it's not officially called that, but Taylor is very fond of dropping Easter eggs or hints in her lyrics that fans can have endless discussions about the characters and worlds created in her albums. Even her music videos get so much analysis, like the iconic red scarf in her song All Too Well that was already called a fantastic pop culture mystery. And that is exactly how. Wait, before I tell you the last reasons, currently 71% of you, my dear Night Fam, are watching our videos without following. We are on a journey of hitting 20 million followers, so if you like our insightful content, please go and follow our page now. Number 7. Taylor Swift became an entire economy. Look, her incredibly viral Eras tour is projected to earn $1 billion next year, soon making it the biggest tour in the music industry ever. I mean, in the US alone, fans spending on flight tickets, hotels, taxi rides, food, and other businesses to watch the tour could total a whooping $5 billion. It's crazy, but apparently her impact is so massive, Taylor Swift produces more GDP than 50 countries. So it's no surprise that an entire education center, several academic courses, and even a freaking millipede species were already named after Taylor Swift. And of course, how can we forget number 8, the cult of Swifties? Taylor might be one of the very few artists who actually makes an effort to make her fans feel like she can still be their best friend. She sends them gifts, bakes cookies for them, personally surprises them on special occasions, and even invites 100 of them to listen to every new album for the first time ever inside her own home with her. So, with all this love and appreciation from her, Swifties give back to her big time and even create a whole culture inside their communities. They spend up to $1,000 each for merch and concerts. They exchange thousands of friendship bracelets with one another, and these fans in the Philippines love her so much they're even willing to attend a concert with just a Taylor Swift impersonator. And they fall in love with her even more, because she's generous too. Like that one time she gave $100,000 each to the truck drivers working for her tour, and a total of $55 million in bonuses for her entire tour crew. Number 9. She fights for all artists. In an industry where the big labels usually have the last say, Taylor Swift broke the rules and proved you could top the charts with a freaking 10-minute long song. Her mission to re-record her masters has been called revolutionary for the music industry, and the way she stood up against Apple and Spotify until they gave artists more pay per streams, these are brave actions that will impact the future generations of aspiring musicians who right now are just writing songs in their bedrooms. And finally, with all the hate thrown at her, number 10. Taylor Swift can make fun of herself. She's portrayed as a crazy guy collector. Make a song called Blank Space and dominate the charts with it. She's mocked for her awkward dancing. Showcase it more in music videos and have fun with it. Taylor Swift listens to all the criticisms and then uses it as fuel to create more art.
You know, I've learned that the difference between those who can continue to create in that climate usually comes down to this: who lets that scrutiny break them and who just keeps making art.
Listen, I don't really care if by the end of this video you end up loving or hating Taylor Swift more. But let's agree on one thing. Taylor Swift proves that even if you receive all the hate of the world, if you just focus on what you do all too well, karma will give you something better than revenge. It will grant you your wildest dreams.